And we're back. Hello, dumpling. All right, so I have got my straps appreciably attached. I'm gonna have my somebody help me tweak the fitting, so I'm not gonna stitch all these down permanently, but I've got it to a place where we have got all the major attachment points, shoulder straps and the body band attached to the bra. So before, we noted that I needed to fold these under and stitch them down. So we're gonna go ahead and do that because you want any structural stitching to be independent of all other units of sewing. And that is just a precaution, because if stitches break, it's much better if each unit is independent to itself. So like each strap is sewn down independently, tied off, and then the pretty fabric is always sewn down independently of the structure of the actual like meat of the strap, the structure fabric. So I wouldn't want to hold this down by using the fabric I'm about to cover the cup with. To do it is the point I'm trying to make there. You want this to be sewed down all by itself, and little tweaks to the edge of the cup can be made like this pretty simply. If you can avoid cutting the cup, do, because it's got structure to it. Cutting it is always going to make it weaker. So if you can avoid cutting the cup, do. But a little fold like this on the edge and moving the attachment point in just a little bit will make a huge amount of difference on the tension to the center of the cup as well. So if you've got a cup that's slightly too big for your bosoms, this trick is really quite useful and will make your whole bra fit much better and give you way less gappage. All right, so we've got that down. So this one is ready to be covered. Now here's when we're sitting back on the floor with the cat on one leg, making sure to impede progress as much as possible. All right, here's our super rough shape that we cut out earlier. Now, so the top of the cup is straight. This is the center front. This bottom part is curved, obviously. So we want to line up our fabric. And I like putting this on my knee with the hard edge, the underwire, away from me. And just kind of get a little bit of a drape on it. Make sure that you've got the underwire all the way covered and you've got a lip of fabric that can fold under the underwire. I like to, don't bite the pins, I like starting by pinning at the underwire. This is the part of the cup that does not move. This is the part we have to work around. So kind of pin these in place. And then from there, once I've got it kind of attached vaguely to the bottom of the cup, I'm gonna fold. This is the center front. It's that nice straight edge. We're gonna just fold that edge under so it's on the inside. And pin that in place. That will give you a nice smoothness right to the center, where most people tend to want not a lot of bulk, and the darts will go on the outside. Darts are a fitting technique. They are when you fold a triangle into a piece of fabric in order to make it, the straight piece of fabric contort into a shape around your body. So once you get to the shoulder strap, which is where I am now, I'm at the shoulder strap, here it is. I'm just gonna fold this edge of my pretty material under so that it meets the shoulder strap and pin that in place. I find that working from the center out gives me the smoothest results with the least futzing and fiddling. So now you've got a big gap. So you've got all this extra material because this now has to create a round shape with a straight piece of fabric. So we're gonna dart it. So what we do is I just kind of let it drape down, let gravity do some work for you, and then fold it up to where it is against your cup. and I'm out of pens. Never enough pens in the world. So that is the general shape right here. And we'll come under here to clean up our edges. So in the center, we're gonna just fold. Here's our raw edge. We're gonna fold that under to where it nicely meets where we've got our centerpiece. And here's another place, if you want to make this so that your cups meet a little bit more tapered, you can really play with the shape of everything right here. I want that wide space in the middle, again, just because that's how I'm shaped and how things look good on me. Is let's not pretend that these meet in the middle. We're gonna go ahead and just give them the space that they need. So then you continue by taking your fabric and folding it underneath the cup, and just take a pin and snuggle it under the underwire. So fold underneath the cup and snuggle under the underwire. So the principle for getting all this to look good and smooth easily on the cup is don't compress the cup with the fabric. If you're using stretch fabric, you still have to dart. You cannot use stretch fabric and just pull it and stretch it around the globe of the cup. You will collapse the cup in, and then you will have a cup or a costume where the stretch of the material's under stretch the whole time, and the actual elasticity of it will give out, and you'll end up with all those weird little shreds that we get in our yoga pants and make us angry. Because that is the actual like elastic of the fabric failing and breaking. Don't do that on this. If you want to use stretch fabric, there's a lot of beautiful stretch fabric in the world, go for it. I don't like the way it drapes. It doesn't do what I want it to do, so I don't use it that much. But if you want to use stretch fabric, you still need to drape this dart in around your cup and not squish your cup down. So this is this outer edge. This is where we've like folded everything to the cup. So the last place that will be folded under for me is usually the side of the bra where the body bands meet. So I've got my front center nice and tidy, my underwire nice and tidy. I'm gonna get the part from the strap down to the body band, that outside. Get that cleaned up. My edge folded under, because we'll have to adjust this dart. No matter what you do, you're always gonna have to adjust it several times. Do not be upset about that, expect it. So this dart actually came in pretty good. I'm not gonna sit here and make you watch me fiddle with that anymore. So there I am, I've got a cup almost covered, and here is the body band, and here's my last little bit of randomness. So trim this off and give yourself 1.5 inches, something plenty that you can fold it under. So there we go, that's a cleaned up edge. That's just less bulk, because what we're gonna do here is the same thing as before. We're gonna just fold that raw edge under. And starting from the bottom is probably better. So we're gonna fold that raw edge under and lay it against our body band. That's not a pin anymore. Now, as you sew this, you're going to be tweaking and tugging. Yeah, that would be normal. Again, don't be surprised when this thing you're making by hand has to be adjusted constantly by hand. That is part of the game. When you're covering your cups, I'm not going to do both at this time, because this point is to get you concepts, not for you to watch me do a whole thing all the way through in real time. When you're covering the cups, I find I get a much more even dart, because I want this dart replicated on this side. It's much easier to do it if you do the same process to each cup at the same time. So I drape both cups at the same time. I get it draped, then I pin the underwire, then I pin the top. And we are so close to the basic construction being done and being able to move on to the fun stuff. So here is the nuts and bolts of the actual sewing this pretty stuff to the cup. So what we're doing is we're going to come inside, and here, right here is my underwire. It's now covered by pretty fabric. I'm going to take my big needle. I'm going to come behind the underwire. Yep. Oh, I don't have this thread knotted. Eep! Bad choices, bad choices. Okay. Knot your thread. So I'm going to come behind the underwire. And again, we're just going to whip stitch down the length of this. And there will be a little bit of stitches that show at the edge, but that is how you do it. You see from the front, it doesn't show at all because this will be sitting against your body. Do not worry about that showing. It is absolutely the easiest way to do this and create a smooth surface, because if you sew it down, if you top stitch it here, you'll have a pucker line. This gives you this snuggling behind the underwire, gives you the smoothest possible cup. So we're just going to go all the way around the margin of the bra and occasionally go back through and knot it to itself. And we're going to work all the way around the bra, and the same thing up here on the top edge where there's no underwire. We're going to continue just whip stitching it to the inside of the cup. So what you'll feel when you stick the needle in, don't go all the way through the material. What you're going to do is you're going to skim the needle vertically, and you can feel it against your finger back here. So supporting the cup on the outside with your offhand. So you're sticking this needle in, and then you're just going to pick up a chunk of the cup. You're not going to go all the way through. And that's how you stitch all the way around the cup, and then you have your basics done. That's it. I'll make shorter videos on making lighter duty bras with less strapping, or with strapping made out of grosgrain. But we've got the first series done. Yay, go us. Yay, Snickerdoodle says yay.